Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist BBQ. I'm Jeremy Yoder, and today I'm going to share with you a barbecue mistake that I was making for years before I learned the right way to do it. The barbecue mistake I was making is about fire management. And fire management is something I spent a lot of time messing with, a lot of time thinking about, and I ultimately came to the conclusion that my initial thoughts on it weren't quite right. For years, I did everything I possibly could to get a perfectly clean fire. And it is important that your fire isn't too dirty, but you want it to be the right level of dirty at the right time during the cook. And I started to figure this out when I realized that, well, I get way better flavor on my ribs if I cook them, at 200 for several hours before I bump up the temperature. Because at higher temperatures, you're going to produce cleaner smoke. And so that was one thing that taught me about that. I learned the same thing with chicken. So if you let it hang out at a low temperature and absorb smoke flavor, you're also kind of letting the fire burn a little colder and you produce more smoke flavor. So I realized, oh, well, let me try this with briskets. And so I did an experiment. I had two 500s side by side. One, I used pretty green logs, like really heavy, and they were pretty big around, and I intentionally burned a pretty dirty fire. Still an open flame, but, a lot smokier than usual. On the other 500, I used little tiny splits, and I made that fire perfectly clear. At the end of that cook, I taste tested the two briskets side by side. And then what I found was the one that was cooked with dirtier smoke in the beginning actually had significantly more smoke flavor. The one that was cooked with a perfectly clean fire the whole time was kind of lackluster smoke flavor. Still had great fat render, still looked nice, but it really didn't have the punch behind it that I was after. Next, I needed to find out, when is that smoke important, when is it not important? And I heard about this because somebody told me about a video from Jerby BBQ where he started a fire with, charcoal briquettes and intentionally made it crazy dirty. And I thought, oh, I could try that. I did try that, and to me, it was a little too dirty for my liking. So what I did instead was a really clean fire for the first 4 hours, and then I dirtied up the smoke for the second 4 hours, and that brisket was lackluster in smoke flavor. Then I tried the opposite. I made it kind of dirty for the first 4 hours, and then the next 4 hours, I made it super clean. That had great smoke flavor, tremendous smoke flavors, and I found out that the old adage is true, that the meat will absorb the most smoke flavor when it's cold. I want to thank Hone Health for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested, go to honehealth.com/BBQ to get an at-home assessment and a doctor consultation for only $45. This is a really serious one. So something you might not know is that men's testosterone levels have been declining for decades at this point. Nobody really seems to know why. At home, they have real medical professionals. Now, I'm not a medical professional. This isn't medical advice, but I can say it's a good idea to talk to a true medical professional who can examine how you're doing, how your health markers are, and how they can help you get that sorted out. Now, some symptoms of low testosterone are things like fatigue, weight gain. You don't really have the energy that you used to have. Now, that's common for a lot of people, but you don't immediately think, oh, I might have low testosterone. Well, the only way to find out is to get it checked. And it's the easiest thing in the world when you work with Hone. Basically, you get an assessment that arrives at your door, and then after you send in your sample, you get to talk to a licensed medical professional who's going to go over the results with you so you know exactly where you stand and exactly what you need to do to improve your health. Recent medical research is clear on a number of things. The first is, if you have low testosterone, your health will improve as a result of supplementing testosterone. Another thing that medical research is clear about is having low testosterone that's untreated puts you at risk for a number of diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and dementia. While we might not be sure exactly what's causing men to have low testosterone these days, we are sure about the proper treatment to address it, and the people at Hone can help you with that. If you're interested in learning about your own testosterone levels, get the Hone at-home assessment. You'll send in your samples, you'll get to speak with a doctor and have a consultation, and you get all of that for only $45. To do that, go to honehealth.com/BBQ or click on the link in the description below. So with all the experimentation that I've done, I found that there are 3 levels of smoke flavor that I use in cooking. So there's level 3, which is the smokiest, and I found that that's really only good for cold smoking, like cold smoking salmon or cold smoking cheese. There's level 2, where it's kind of a bluish smoke, but you can still see it, and that's great for putting smoke on at the beginning of a barbecue cook. And then there's smoke level 1, which is basically just pure heat coming out of the stack, which is great for burning an efficient fire, for finishing stuff off. That's all totally fine and good, but it's not really going to provide a lot of flavor. Now, one of the issues that you run into a lot of times with pellet smokers is they burn so darn clean that they don't provide smoke flavor. We're just applying the same principles among the different smokers. Because it burns so clean, it doesn't have enough smoke flavor. Why wouldn't that also be true in offset smokers? Now, it's important to note that the smoke flavor you get from an offset, because the logs are bigger, because you're actually burning big chunks of wood and the moisture isn't so low, It's going to have more smoke flavor than most pellets, but the principle is still true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 3 levels of smoke flavor and when they're appropriate to use. To illustrate the 3 different levels of smoke flavor, we're going to use the Franklin pit. And if you want to own a Franklin pit, guess what? You can. Because I am giving this away in a Patreon contest for the month of July. So anybody who's on Patreon can enter to win. We've typically done contests like the best picture of a brisket, or you write a review of your favorite barbecue tool, or something like that. But it's something anyone can do, and anyone who's a patron gets to enter the contest. So this could be yours. We're going to announce the rules on July 1st on Patreon. We're going to announce the winner in the first week of August. And then this guy is going to belong to one of you viewers, because I got a lot of smokers around. I don't need smokers that I'm not going to use. I would be much happier if a patron out there has this, uses it every weekend, loves it, cherishes it, rather than it sitting in my driveway and rusting. So if you want to enter the contest, you can go over to Patreon. I'll put a link in the description. Go check it out. So this for me right now, it's smoke level 1, which is not going to provide a ton of smoke flavor. The flavor it does provide is going to be clean, it's going to be pure, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as it could be. Smoke level 2 is the perfect balance between smoke flavor without having the bitter components that you get with smoke level 3. For some reason, when you're hot smoking, if you make it too smoky, it does get bitter. For another reason I can't explain, with cold smoking, it doesn't happen. I don't know why, I just know it's true. This is smoke level 3. It's just a little too much, I think. I don't enjoy the flavor as much as smoke level 2. I think you get too many of those bitter flavors, and it tastes like something that's over smoked, like if you had too many wood chunks on a Weber Smoky Mountain or a Kamado Joe or something similar. Let's break down how to use these 3 different smoke levels. Smoke level 2, I used at the beginning of cooks. And the way I judge the amount of smoke flavor is by the color. So once you have the color that you want and you have the bark on the outside of whatever you're cooking that you want, that tells me there's enough smoke flavor, it's time to move on. I use smoke level 1 to finish off the cook because that's the most efficient way to burn the wood, and you use less wood doing it that way, and it's just kind of an easier fire to control. When you have open flame, you can kind of judge how much something is going to spike versus if it's going to drop down. You have a good way to regulate it. And then smoke level 3, I use only for cold smoked items. For some reason, it just gives incredible flavor. The first time I ever did it, I used it for cold smoked salmon, and it blew my mind how good the flavor was. Now let's talk about the science behind why smoke level 2 would be ideal. If you use something like propane, you're getting basically complete combustion. You're producing almost exclusively CO2 and H2O, so carbon dioxide and water vapor. And guess what? There's no smoke flavor there. It's just pure heat. So when you're burning a super efficient fire, you're basically getting almost exclusively CO2 and H2O, which means not a lot of flavor, but plenty of heat. So smoke level 2, you're burning at a lower combustion temperature and you're producing bigger molecules. Those bigger molecules show up in something you can actually see versus the really small molecules like CO2 and H2O that just look like a mirage of heat. So that's going to produce the real smoke flavor. And then smoke level 3 is going to be you're burning at a low temperature, so something that's kind of really smoldering, something like you would have coals and then just a piece of wood smoldering beside it. That's going to be smoke level 3, the lowest combustion temperature, and it's going to produce the biggest compounds. And for some reason, it works with cold smoking. I haven't found it to work with hot smoking. So the logic and the science backs up what pitmasters have been saying for a long, long time, is that you want, thin blue smoke. I think you want a little bit thicker than thin, but I think you see from the examples what I'm talking about and what I found to have the very best flavor. So you can adapt this to your own needs. I start off with smoke level 2. When I get the color I want, I switch to smoke level 1 to finish off the cook, but you can dial in the smoke flavor that you want and the flavor you like the best by altering how clean or how dirty the fire is. Now this kind of flies in the face of what I believed for a long time was you want the cleanest smoke possible always. As is true with many things in life, the always rule doesn't hold true. So let's talk about the practical ways that you can adjust the smoke flavor in your cooker. So the first is the wood. So if you're using oak or hickory or pecan or apple or cherry or any common barbecue wood, that's totally fine. You can still use the same process to get good and better smoke flavor. And finally, once you've dialed it into exactly what you like, it's going to be ideal for you. So once you have your wood, you can have a pile where some is pretty dry and some is pretty green. You can use the greener stuff to get a dirtier smoke so you can add more smoke flavor. You can use the drier stuff to clean up the smoke when you need to. If you think, oh, that's getting really dark, I don't want it to be quite that dark, I don't want my ribs to look like my brisket, you can use the lighter wood because it's got less water in it, it's going to be lighter, and that's how you can sort it as well. You can use that to finish off the cook. The other thing you can do is adjust airflow. So more airflow in means a cleaner burning fire, which means smaller molecules, which means less smoke flavor. If you choke off the air, you reduce the oxygen, you lower the temperature of combustion, you produce bigger molecules, and you see more smoke coming out, which translates to more smoke flavor. Now, there's a reason why on something like a Weber Smoky Mountain, you get tremendous bark on the outside. You just get awesome color. It's because it's producing a lot of those big molecules that you see in the white smoke that slowly drifts out of the top. But with that kind of combustion, you run the risk of over smoking. So there's a reason why smokers like the Weber Smoky Mountain, Kamado Joe, Big Green Egg, etc., limit the number of wood chunks they put in, because I've tried it with too many wood chunks and it's really not good. You have to use a moderate amount, and when you do that, it's very good, but it doesn't have the same kind of clean smoke flavor that you just want more of that you get with an offset. Using this method, I found you have the perfect balance where you get a bold smoke flavor, but it doesn't have any of those off tastes that I associate with over-smoked food. So to recap, smoke level 2 at a low temperature of maybe 200 degrees or so until you get the bark and the color that you want, and then you can dial up the temperature, go smoke level 1, and finish it off. Now, if you did smoke level 1 the whole time, it's not going to taste bad, but it's not going to taste as good as it could be. And I'm all about trying to make the very best barbecue possible, and I hope this helps you guys. If it did, hit the like button down below. You can subscribe below for more fun and informative barbecue content, and don't forget to follow me on Patreon because you could enter that contest and win your very own Franklin Smoker. See you guys next time.